got a preform here that I've been working on, and it started thinning it down, and I said I'm gonna stop and put it back till I get time to do a video on using the holler bopper, that Edbo mega bopper on YouTube. Shows how to make these. It's got a little copper cap on it, and I also show how to make it on my videos. I really enjoy using them. If you'd have told me I would have been using them, I would have laughed at you. But when I seen Ed use them, I was impressed with the results he was getting. And I tried it for a while, and I said, well, I didn't have that much luck with it, and I didn't think that much about it. And I put it off to the side. And then later on, I was watching his videos again, and I said, you know what? I just believe I need to give it another try. So I started studying his videos and really watching them, and had the opportunity of him coming to the house and buying a bunch of flint from me, and he had some with him in, and he was showing them to me. And I said, I'm going to figure this out. And through talking with him and all, I found out that the size billets you use, the diameter of these things, have a lot to do with the results you get from them. So if you're working a bigger piece and it's wider and thicker, you need to use a bigger one. And that's what I'm going to use right here. And as I got to playing with them, I fell in love with them, and I just really feel like, in fact, I know he's on to something, and this works. And I'm going to show you something right here. I've got a major hinge. I'm going to take this pencil and make it a little dark where you can see it right there. And you see how thick it is. It's a monster hinge. And I'm going to take this billet and I'm going to hit up here high above the center line. Remember I told you sometimes you have to break the rule about hitting above the center line? But when I hit above the center line, I'm going to do something. I'm going to come this way, like this. And that's going to keep me from breaking it, and it's going to knock the hinge out. Now, if you can see, that's the hinge right there. Look how thick and stacked that hinge was. And it's gone. That's where it was at. So that's a pretty effective technique, and you need to remember that. And I'm just going to go through here and play with this thing. I think this is a pretty good piece of rock here. It looks like it's solid. And see what we can do. See how good we can bid some stuff out using this. Boy, it's been cold in this shop the last 4 or 5 days. I don't have any doors in this thing, and no way of keeping it warm. And we've had a lot of rain, a lot of moisture. And see, I come down like that, and after I had another little hinge there. That's why I was hitting that way. Anyway, with the moisture, and it was in the high 20s this morning, probably about 45 right now. I think it's like probably 1 o'clock, a little after 1. Sun's done come out warmed up, but it gets cold. That's all I'm gonna say. And I don't like cold. Never bothers me. The older I get, the more I hate it. Don't say it never bothered me, but I didn't hate it. Did a lot of hunting in it, didn't think nothing about it, especially duck hunting. What I'm doing is I'm going down through here, and I'm just turning this edge up and smoothing this side here. Had a lot of little hinges in it, and I got those out, and just going back and smoothing it up. I'm gonna try to leave this blade as long as I can and as wide as I can to see how thin I can get it. So I'm gonna have to move a lot of mass every time I hit it to achieve that. Whoo! Moved way too much there. That went all the way across and sheared my tip off, man. Hot dog. I had no idea it was gonna take that much out. I hit it way too hard. That's another problem with these boppers here. You have to really be careful with the size and how hard you strike it, because watch here. I just barely come down on it and run that one over halfway. That's another thing I like about it. You don't have to hit as hard. And it seems like the slower I hit, the more accuracy I have than if I'm trying to swing real hard. I'm setting that continuous platform up to get some high spots out of here out. That piece went all the way across to this little ridge right here. And I don't really need to go any further to the low area there, and it feathered out on it. That went over 3/4 of the way across, and I'm gonna ease down on this. So I'm down here on the tip, and I don't want the tip to do what that base did, shoot all the way across and roll over the other side and lose a lot of it. So I'm being real careful down here on this tip. Just kind of lightly tapping on it. Once I get it in shape, I'll start thinning it down. Got it ready, and I'm gonna lightly tap on it. Just shoot. And I'm working myself into it. I'm hitting here, and I'm easing up into it, because right there I'm gonna hit right on the edge, just like that. And take that piece off that went all the way across. It stopped right on the very opposite edge. It almost rolled over. That one did what I was talking about, and I lost the tip. I hit a little too hard on that one. Exactly what I was trying not to do is what I did. Have to be careful with these billets when you get something real thin like this. Alright, this time I'm hitting this way because I've still got some stacks right in here I want to get rid of. And I'm trying to come from behind them. If you watch my videos, you heard me talk about going behind something and thinning it from the back. It makes it a lot easier when you hit it straight on. If it's weak behind it, like this is my knuckle, if it's weak back here, when I hit it here, it makes it easier. Yeah, shoot, I come down there with the hitting on it, and I didn't have a good ground edge. I'm doing like this and missing, I don't have my fingers on it, and I'm trying to ease up to the edge. When I have my fingers under it, it's easier to hit because you try and hit the end of your finger. But when I have my fingers out here, I don't hit too high up on it and break it. So I just start hitting short and easing up into it like that. I've seen other people, I'm sure you have to do that on the nap ends, on videos or whatever. But you're just easing into it. I'll explain to you maybe a little better right here. Like if I want to hit right here on this edge, I hit right on it perfect. But I had my finger sitting right there. It's like I'm trying to hit my finger, which is easy to do. You can close your eyes and hit the end of your finger. But if I'm don't have my finger there and I'm trying to hit this edge like I'm doing right now, I'll hit down here and just keep getting closer and closer and closer until I'm barely touching it. Okay, now I'm going to try the one. Whoa, that's a low area right there. I'm glad I looked. I did not notice that. Sitting here talking about creeping up on that edge and thinking about how I'm going to explain to do it and do a demo and come real close and messing up big time. I went to it right here and I've got a low area there and you cannot nap air. You can swing in there and nothing's going to happen. So this place right here is high. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to outline it, maybe to show up in the outline with the pencil. But that's a dimple. That's a low area right there. So I got to hit over here or over here and come this way where I got two high ridges. I almost hit straight into that low area, and all I would have had was a pretty good hinge if I'd done that. Now doing it this way, you see that pencil mark's gone right there where that U part was that went in, because I come that way. Now I'm going to go back this way, like this. Now the whole thing's gone and the low area's gone. If you notice, I'm putting my finger under there now because it's getting thinner, and my accuracy needs to be real good. I love flint knapping. It just amazes me you can take a hard stone, it's the size of a football, and knock a piece off of it like this, and then shape it and mold it into something you like just by striking on it with a little light hammer that don't weigh anything. All I'm doing is putting a little convexity on this side. I'm turning this edge up because it's real flat on this side, and it actually don't look normal, kind of like a solid slab. It's a flat right there. I'm just trying to bring this edge up a little bit and put a little convexity under there. This is where I took that part off a while ago and lost about a 3/4 of an inch of the length on it. I've got a high spot. I'm through with this thing. But from right here to here, you can see that dark line that's already in there. It's kind of high. It's like a ridge running right into there. And I think I'm going to take a pressure flaker and make me a real good isolated platform and see if I can get that out. And I'm going to call it quits. And I'll make probably a benton out of this. Maybe a pickwick. Base is kind of narrow, right? Well, it's not too narrow for a pickwick. This is Buffalo River chert, in case you're wondering what I'm working. I sell this stuff, and it's several grades of Buffalo River chert. I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's been a lot of low grades that's been sold out there over the years, and it's run just about destroyed the Buffalo River chert. You met somebody, oh, I had that stuff and it wasn't no good. I couldn't do nothing with it. Well, you had a bad grade. People selling cheap stuff, and most of them were selling as grainy Buffalo River chert, and a lot of them were new in the flint knapping business, and they didn't know the difference, so they wasn't trying to mess you up. They just didn't know any better. And they go get Buffalo River chert, and they say, man, this is good stuff. It's Buffalo River chert. Just because it's Buffalo River chert don't mean it's good. Just because you say he's Jones or his last name's Matthew or Freeman or George or whatever, it don't mean he's good because some of the other Freemans are good. Get something bad in anything. And Buffalo River chert, when it's grainy, it's a low grade. But when it's not, it's one of the finest flints out there to work with. I mean, I'm telling you, it's fine. It's one of my favorites. I sold Buffalo River chert back in the 80s and had an unbelievable access to it. I could just go get it by the ton. And it was some fine stuff. Now, this flake came out right here, and it's starting to take this little ridge out. You can see going down through there how it dipped in. And I'm just gonna go down this way like this. Keep my finger right on that edge. I'll be sure to hit it. It worked extremely well, except right here. I don't know what it is, but if I'm gonna have problems, it's always just about in the middle of a piece. I think I get yellow wrist who don't realize it. And yellow wrist, when I say yellow wrist, I'm chicken. I get right there and I realize it's wide and I need to run the flake a long ways, and it's so thin I'm scared I'm gonna break it, and I rear back to hit it, and all of a sudden I let up on my swing and don't hit it near as hard, and I don't get the results I need because I chicken out. I've seen a guy playing baseball, and he goes to swing at it and he tries to change his mind. He's already in the middle of the swing, and he'll hit it and it'll be a good little pop up right to the second base or something like that, where if he'd have swung through and hadn't changed his mind or slowed down on his swing, he'd probably had a good base hit. Well, that's the way I'm doing right now, what I call yellow wrist. There we go. Finally got it all out of there. Okay, here we go. Need straightening up, and I'm gonna run some. I'm not gonna thin it any thinner because I might make a benton out of it. If I do, I'm gonna put a bleak flaking down it, and I need it sort of with a concave center like this here, and I don't need it real thin to do that. I see a couple little hairs I am gonna take out though while I'm turning it around. You can take a rocks real good, you lay it down, pick it up an hour later and see all kind of problems in it, at least I do. I don't know about you. And you gotta know when to quit. You gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them, or you'll sure mess up. You'll end up breaking it. Then you'll say, what did I do that for? I just had to take one more little spot out on it. Looked good just like it was, but I wasn't satisfied. Like right here, I had to keep hitting, and that edge wasn't ground very good, and it kind of crushed at it right there. Now I gotta haul off and tap it pretty hard. Okay, it's all pressure flaking from here. I hope you enjoyed the video.